पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वा व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यो विश्वात्मा विदिय विषयान् द्राक्ष्य भोगान् सविष्टान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगण मात्वसौ न स्तुरीयः। प्रज्ञानांशुक्रतानैः स्थिरचरनिकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् सविष्टान् पुनरपि धिषणोत् भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुं मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्या तुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विदिज विषयान् द्राक्ष्य भोगान् सविष्टान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगण पात्वसौ न स्तुरीयः।
A sick person becomes healthy when the disease ends. So also the sorrows of Atma. What do you mean by sorrows of Atma? Atma will protest. What are you talking? I don't have sorrows. Atma has sorrows. Why Atma doesn't have sorrows? Have you got sorrows? Simple question. Have you got sorrows? Yes. Otherwise you won't come here. So Atma has no sorrow. Why? Why you have sorrow and Atma doesn't have? In fact, Atma is your basis, your true nature. You as an individual have got sorrow, but Atma doesn't have sorrow. Why? What you and we as Jiva have got, Atma doesn't have. What is that? Upadhi, including the ignorance. So where ignorance is there, upadhis are there, sorrows are bound to be there. In Atma, they are not there. So therefore, sorrows of Atma means sorrows of Jiva, wherein sorrows projected by upadhis are superimposed on who? When does it end? Don't straightaway jump to knowledge. As told by Bhashikar, when Dvaita Prapancha is what? Upashama takes it. Upashama means extinction, cessation. Right? Now, to make the Dvaita Prapancha extinct, is it in our hand? What is Dvaita Prapancha? dimensions cosmos. One mosquito you can't kill. What are you going to destroy the entire Jagat? How is it ever possible? Now tell me, first prove that your sorrow is because of Dvaita Prapancha. Last time we have seen it, just we are revising it. Are you subject to sorrows?
Yes.
Are you subject to sorrows? Yes. How do you say that your sorrows are on account of Dvaita Prapancha? Or you may say, Swami, we don't know. Bhashikara says. I Bhashikara says. Can't you prove it? Can you prove it or not? See, this sleep is such a good. Only problem is it comes at the wrong time. You know that? Sleep at the wrong time can create big problems. You know who was the victim of it? Lakshmana. Ramayana was over, Ravana was killed, and Rama is being enthroned now. This crowning ceremony is going on. Who is the most happy person? Lakshmana. And you are sitting, enjoying it. And he started dozing. Sleep came. You know, there is a reason for that. 14 years he was without the sleep. That was a curse, but it was a boon to kill Indrajit. Okay. He just smiled within himself. At such a wrong time you are coming. I have to rejoice. Rama's coronation is coming. Exactly at that time, Rama saw who? Lakshmana, smiling. See how human mind works. You know what Rama thought? Lakshmana is thinking, all I did it. And now who is sitting on the throne? Can Lakshmana ever imagine this? He will commit suicide if such thought comes in his mind. But it came, sir. See, if Rama's flag is hoisted, who is the staff? Lakshmana. So that is that. But Ram will give how misunderstanding crop up. Many families, you should be very careful. We imagine something which is not true. That is that. So that is the wrong time. For you, what is the wrong time? In the class. You sleep comes in the class. That also very serious karika of Mandukya is going on. And you are those things. Otherwise, from the standpoint of ascertainment of Atma Swarupa, there is no greater boon than sleep. In sleep, we can verify we are free from Dvaita Prapancha temporarily during the duration of sleep. Yes or no? And when the Dvaita Prapancha is ceasing, at least temporarily, we are free from sorrows. Yes or no? Look, you are not believing. This you are telling me based on your experience. Vedanta is that is based on your analysis of experience only. So you are free from that. So that means, can't you connect now? Dvaita Prapancha is the cause of sorrow of the. Now, how can we destroy? Sleep is okay, natural. If you want, you run 10 miles and then what? Sleep. That is a different thing. But it is temporary. You have to find out the cause of Dvaita Prapancha. What is the cause of Dvaita Prapancha? Avidya. Ignorance of oneself. Destroy ignorance of oneself, what happens? Dvaita Prapancha vanishes. But sir, how do you say that avidya, ignorance of oneself, is the cause of Dvaita Prapancha? So many Shrutis were quoted. And therefore, it is established that this text is going to establish the avidya of oneself as the cause of Dvaita Prapancha, and that avidya can be destroyed by vidya, the knowledge of Atma Brahma. And it is done in what? 4 chapters. Done in what? 4 chapters. So now, Bhashyakara is enumerating which chapter deals with what topic. Now, continue.
तत्र तावद् ओंकार निर्णयाय प्रथमं प्रकरणम् आगम प्रधानम् आत्मतत्व प्रतिपत्त्युपाय भूतम्.
Tatra. There, where in this text containing 4 chapters, Tatra is here among these 4 chapters of this text called Mandukya Karika, of course in Bhashya. Tavad, Tavad to begin with, Omkara Nirnayaya. Omkara Nirnaya is Omkara Swarupasya Nirnayaya. Nirnaya, to ascertain the Swarupa, nature of Omkara. Why? See, already we have seen, Dvaita Prapancha Upashama is the solution for what? Sorrows of, eliminate the sorrows of this. So now, this Dvaita Prapancha Upashama can be effected with the means of Omkara. But to do that, you should know what exactly this Omkara is. What is the nature of Omkara? What is our concept of Omkara? Some syllable, holy, and it is chanted during the religious practice, etc., etc. Om, Om. But as a means to accomplish Dvaita Prapancha Upashama, now you know the Upashama, extinction. How does it help, etc.? Before that, we are supposed to know what exactly is the nature of Omkara. So let me say, Omkara Nirnayaya means Omkara Swarupa Nishtayaya. To ascertain the nature of Omkara. The first prakarana, Prathamam Prakaranam, first prakarana called as Agama Prakarana. You know what is Agama? Vedas, Shastras, Scriptures. So therefore, Agama Prakarana, the first chapter is called as what? Agama Prakarana. Why it is called Agama Prakarana? Agama Pradhanam. Main topic, that is what? Agama. What is that Agama? Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad. And it consists of that is what? Commentary on Mandukya Upanishad without taking into account reasoning, etc. Other 3 chapters take into account the reasoning, etc., tarka, etc. Here it is Agama Pradhanam, means Natu Yukti Pradhanam. Yukti, reasoning is not involved here. What exactly Mandukya Upanishad says, that is what is explained there, that's all. So Agama. And what does it serve? What is that means? What for it is the means? Atma Tattva Pratipatti Upaya Bhutam. Upaya Bhutam. It is in the form of, it serves as the Upaya. Upaya means remedy. For what? Atma Tattva Pratipatti. Pratipatti means right knowledge or gaining. To gain the right knowledge of Atma Tattva, or to gain Atma. What it is by gaining Atma? What it is? You go to the market and get some mangoes. What you do? You go to ashrams and then what? Put Atma in your bag and come back. What is the gaining Atma? See, something different from you, gaining is what? Take possession of. Can you gain yourself? What is Atma? Your true nature. Can you gain it? Actually, you can't. But what has happened here is, you have disowned yourself. You don't know what you are. Knowing it is what? As good as gaining the other. Like Kantha Bharanavat. You know that story? One day, husband came from the office. Usually, the wife used to receive him with all cheerfulness. Today, when she opened the door, she was totally gloomy. Husband was surprised. What happened today? I lost my golden necklace. I lost my golden necklace. Really, did you lose it? Yes. I searched all over the house, I could not get. This husband is looking all the time at her neck. At her neck. What is that? Huh? Got it. What got it? Was it lost? No. Truly not. But practically, yes. Why she was so? She was searching for it. Why she was so sorrowful? Like her keyboard, you know. It is still there. If it's a Gujarati lady, stuck to the saris. Saris are rare. So that is the, and it is there in the pocket only. Somehow you missed it and search all the house, abusing everyone. These people in the house are such that they don't keep the thing in the right place. Finally, where? So the tiny thought to her, Daddy, you see your pocket? Got it or not? But by knowing that it is there, you got it. So therefore, gaining can be in terms of knowing when you are disowned or lost in spite of its presence. So that is what is happening here. So therefore, it says, Pratipatti Upaya Bhutam. The means of gaining the right knowledge, it itself can serve as gaining the Atma, which ignorance appears as though lost in its true nature. So therefore, first chapter is what? Agama Prakarana. What you can expect there? A thorough commentary on Mandukya Upanishad without taking recourse to any reasoning. Fine. Then the second chapter.
यस्य द्वैत प्रपंचस्य उपशमे अद्वैत प्रतिपत्ति रज्वाम इव सर्पादि विकल्पोपशमे रज्जु तत्व प्रतिपत्ति.
Yes, now Dvaitasya Dvaita Prapasancha Upashami. You see that its name is coming afterwards. Vaitathya Prakarana. Second Prakarana is what? Vaitathya. Vitatha means false. Vitatha is false. Vaitathya, abstract noun. Falsity of the Dvaita Jagat. So, Vaitatya is what? Falsity of the Dvaita dualistic Jagat. So, that is that name we'll see afterwards. So that is it. Now he says, Yasya Dvaita Prapanchasya Upashami. Now you know Upasham, what is that? Extinction. Total cessation, not temporary cessation in terms of sleep. Total ending of what? So when Dvaita Prapancha is totally extinct, you know what happens? Advaita Pratipatti, you see there? Advaita Pratipatti Rajvam Yuva is there. But it is Advaita Pratipatti. Because of Rakara coming, Visarga drop, E elongated. Actually it is Advaita, if you split the Sandhi, Advaita Pratipatti Rajvam Yuva. So that we say Advaita Pratipatti. So that when you gain the knowledge of Advaita, simple, what? Accomplish Dvaita Upashama. Best thing, go to sleep. It's not total Upashama. Tatkalik Upashama. Temporary. See how nice it would have been. You are so close to Atma Brahma. And it gives you sleep. Like Krishna used to do for Jarasandha. Krishna attacked 18 times Jarasandha's capital. Killed all the army. And the combat came to war between Jarasandha and Krishna. Used to fight and make him so annoyed and run away. See, look, not that he was afraid. He is afraid. He wanted to make Jarasandha so angry, by anger, the strength gets declined. Jarasandha's death is in the hands of Bhima. But Bhima is not a match for Jarasandha. He is so strong. So by making him angry, Krishna wanted to deplete his energy. That's why. Otherwise, Jarasandha is not even a mosquito for who? Krishna. So that is that. So even this much is too much. Too much to kill Jarasandha. So that's why he used to come very close to him. And just say, "Abhi bachcha kidhar jayega?" So who? Jarasandha also said, he used to give us sleep. So like that. Every day, without fail, at times in the class also. So whatever, we sleep and come so close to Atma Brahma, it gives us a sleep. Why? Again, either you are awake or you are dreaming. Is it? I think this Bhagavan. Bhagavan doesn't plan properly. Ask Bhagavan, why did you do that? What can I do? You ordered it. What you ordered? Bhog of karma phalas. If I keep you all the time asleep, how will you get the bhog of karma phalas? I have to wake you up. Even Kumbhakarna after 6 months he has to get up. You are responsible. I am not responsible. I am a faithful servant. Ishvara is a faithful servant. As you order, he gives you. So, sleep is not the solution, but we can verify Dvaita Prapancha Upashama is possible. Yes or no? Yes. Possible. We can verify ourselves. So look, at least know from this that Vedanta is not something make-believe. You can discover right now in the teaching itself. That is what Vedanta, not make-believe. Rajvam, how do you say so? Finding that you may not be able to appreciate properly, Bhashyakara gives an illustration. Famous illustration, we know. Rajvam Sarpadi Vikalpo Pashame Rajju Tattva Pratipatti Iva. It's like the simple, what is that? Rajva, you know this example. A rope is mistaken for a snake. Fine? You bring the light, see the rope as rope, upashama of what? Sarpa. Just what? Total exchange of sarpa. Your ignorance of yourself gave rise to the snake of what? Dvaita Prapancha. You bring the Vidya, Atma Jnana, light, Avidya, Gvam, Sarpa of what? Dvaita Prapancha, totally extinct. So that's what it says. Rajva, in the case of rope, of the Rajju Sarpa example, snake mistaken for a rope mistaken for a snake, this example. Sarpadi Vikalpo Pashami. Vikalpa, Veda, wrong notion of Sarpa Adi. What is that Adi? There is no hard and fast rule that you will be the rope for your snake. It can be anything. You may mistake that garland of flowers. You may mistake as a stick. You may mistake as a crack in the earth. If it's a village, dusty village, like a Bali like the urine of what? A bull, some bullock cart was going on, you can take it. But why Sarpa is taken into account? Its effect is very evident. You are frightened, you run away. Suppose you mistook it for a garland. You will be curious what flowers they are. You are not afraid or anything, yes, but this is a glaring here. Your samsara sorrow is there or not? Fear is there or not? Janma marana fear is there or not? So that is a more appropriate, but example can be anything. Sarpali, Vikalpo Pashami. That is projection, imagination of snake, etc. Of Upashami, when is extend, Rajyu Tattva Pratipatti. Pratipatti, the knowledge or gaining of Rajyu Tattva. That is given like that. Therefore, what happens? When Dvaita Prapancha is extinct, Advaita, Atma, Brahma gets revealed. Now what will happen? You saw the snake to be a rope. But what is the guarantee? Snake that we had mistaken hitherto, in reality is what? Rope. We have verified it. What is the guarantee that the snake will not come again? The guarantee. Suppose, actually it happened. Not just in the Vedanta class. Actually happened to see a snake. Fortunately, we had a flashlight or torch with you. You flashed it. Rope. Have you got any misgiving that the snake will return again? Why? Loudly. The snake's seed was false. It was not a true snake. Otherwise, that snake has gone there, hidden there, again it will come. No, it was false. You know it. Like that, here, when you see the Advaita Prapancha, the Advaita Tattva, Dvaita Prapancha should necessarily be what? False, Vitatha. As it appears now, can you ever think of it in the false? Should I demonstrate? Ask someone to give a slap. Big. I won't give it. Big slap. They don't understand. Or I will get so inspired because Manduk is going on. I will continue teaching up to 11:30, 12, midnight. What? Jagat Dvaita Prapanch Satya object. The stomach is telling you Satya. Why? You are so hungry. You are so sleepy. When you stop, you can't ask, dare to ask. But inside is when you will stop. Why he has continued like this way? So, is it not? So that was why. So, as it obtains, you say Dvaita Prapancha false, it doesn't make sense. It needs to be proved by pros and cons, by reasoning, etc. It is false. We have to do that Shastraka. The job of who? Bhashyakara. If I did not Bhashyakara, Gaudapadacharya has done it. So that's to show that in the Advaita Jnana, Dvaita Prapancha ends once forever because it is false in nature. That falsity, Vaitatya, has to be proved. That is what is done in the second chapter.
तस्य द्वैतस्य हेतुतः द्वैतस्य प्रतिपादनाय द्वितीयं प्रकरणम्
तस्य द्वैतस्य द्वैत प्रपंचस्य हेतुतः द्वैतस्य प्रतिपादनाय to expound, to establish what its Vaitatya, false nature. How? Hetutaha, by giving the reasonings. What are those reasonings? Number one, Dvaita Prapancha is Drishya. What is Drishya? Perceived. Whatever perceived, is it ever existing? Who is ever existing? The perceiving principle. Drit Tattva. The Darshana entity. The entity makes the perception possible. Therefore that here, so that is Drishya. And whatever Drishya rule, do you know what is that? Drishyam Tannashyam. Anything perceived is subject to destruction. Before it was not there, after it not there, in between it appears to be. That is one thing. Then Adi Antavatvam. It has a beginning, it has an end. In between it appears to be there. So therefore, simply not that way. Hetus, reasonings are given why Dvaita Prapancha is Mithya. So therefore, Hetutaha, by giving the reasoning, Vaitatya Pratipadanaya, to establish its false nature, Dvitiyam Prakaranam, the second chapter called Vaitatya Prakaranam. You can make a note. It is a commentary on the sixth mantra of Mandukya Upanishad. Esha Sarveshwaraha, Esha Sarvajnaha, etc. The commentary on what? Sixth mantra of Mandukya. Oh, now we understand. What is that? Dvaita Prapancha is Vitatha Mithya. But what is the guarantee? Like Dvaita, Dvaita also is Mithya. Dvaita is understood. But what is the guarantee that Advaita is not Mithya? No, it is not Mithya. Only you can't, only you are shake your head, it is not possible. So therefore, what is that? A doubt may be possible that like Dvaita Prapancha, Advaita Atma, Brahma also can be Mithya. No, it can't be. How Advaya Brahma cannot be Mithya, so that is what is to be established. That is why it is called as what? Advaita Prakarana Sarva.
तथा अद्वैतस्य अपि वैतथ्य प्रसंग प्राप्तौ युक्तितः तथात्वदर्शनाय तृतीयं प्रकरणम्।
Tatha, so also. So also means as established in the case of mood. Dvaita Mithya. See, this atra, tatra, putra, tatha. This also, we have to be very careful to find what exactly they mean. What is tatha? So also. For translation it is good. Because tatha, so also good. Also, just as Dvaita Prapancha is proved to be Mithya, so also Advaita Brahma may be Mithya. Tatha, tatha, Advaitasya api, even Advaita Brahma what? Vaitatya prasanga praptau. Prasanga is Shanka. A doubt that perhaps the Advaita also can be what? False in nature. When such doubt comes, Yuktitaha, based on Yukti, Tathatva Darshanaya. Tathatva means truth or true nature as it is, as it appears to be. Dvaita is not as it appears to be. Atatha. Tatha. So that's what it is. Tathatva means Advaitatva or Satya Paramarthikatva, in the sense what is truth, what the true nature of Advaita. It can never be Mithya like Dvaita. Tathatva Darshanaya Tritiyam Prakaranam. Third chapter, which is the commentary on seventh mantra. Nantah Prajnam Nabhai Prajnam, etc. The commentary on that, but you see, one mantra commentary is what? Entire chapter. Like in Panchadashi, 7th chapter, mantra, Vidyan Muni has commented in 293 or 94 verses. If you are asked to explain, by scratching the head 2 lines, you will tell only 2 lines. Therefore, Tritiya Prakarana. Now, there may be many notions, concepts against the Advaita Tattva. You may establish, but they will not agree. Others will not agree with them. Let them not agree. What are you going to lose? Are you going to lose? It depends. How convinced you are about Advaita. Otherwise, Lord, I think they are right. Who? Opponents are right. Doubts will come in your mind. So therefore what? You have to prove how they are wrong. So that is what? That is what is called as Alata Shanti Prakarana. It is commentary on 12th mantra, Amatras Chaturthaha Avyavaharya, etc. Actually, in this Alata, Gaudapada Acharya starts and knock down tournament. Those Olympic, etc. They go on step by step, and those are eliminated. Those who win again they go on eliminated. So what Gaudapada does is, he makes these opponents argue among themselves, and one knocks down the other, and finally one who remains, Prathama Malla, tough one, Vedanta comes and knocks him out. Who is the champion now? Vedanta need not argue with all these opposite schools of thought. They are made to argue among themselves and eliminate the other one. The final one who remains, you know who is it? Sankhya. Sankhya is the one who comes very close to Advaita, except last step problem, Purusha Prakriti. Duality he makes. So that is dismissed by whom? So that was finally what is established? Advaita is what? Advaita is Satya. So that's why it is called now. Continue.
अद्वैतस्य तथात्व प्रतिपत्ति प्रतिपक्ष भूतानि यानि वादान्तराणि अवैदिकानि तेषाम् अन्योन्य विरोधित्वात् अतथार्थत्वेन तत् उपपत्तिभिः एव निराकरणाय चतुर्थं प्रकरणम्.
The Prakarana called as Alata Shanti Prakarana. So it is Alata, firebrand. You know, in the pitch darkness, mashal. See what happened? You in the pitch darkness, you go on whirling in a rapid way, you get pattern. Don't go to the firebrand. Agarbatti, so it is glow and the flame is removed, the glow is there, and pitch darkness, you can view pattern.
So one has to be a little bit
How
world
sick
wary
you are,
also.
it
Like you have to be a bit aware of some of these political scenarios that are taking place outside of India. What are the things impacting Hindus? Because it is one thing to propose that, okay, these are the Dharma Shastras and these are the things you have to follow. But to be politically savvy is also required today. Now, I would say I'm not a huge fan of Jaggi Vasudevji for many reasons. But at the same time, I appreciate when he takes down these secular reporters in a big way. Like he'll take them down, he'll break them apart. He'll completely dismantle their arguments when it comes to issues of nationalism or secularism. But then he gets it totally wrong when it comes to our Shastras, because he himself claims he has not read the Shastras. So, can we actually expect some of these things from our Pitams as well? Where they, I understand that the role of the Jagadguru is to engage in the study of Shastra, to focus on their sadhanas, to ultimately attain mukti and pass on the traditional framework of Advaita Vedanta. That is their primary mukhya dharma, no doubt about that. But could certain appointments be made within the Peetham itself by not the Jagadgurus but by maybe other scholars who are actually enlisted for the primary task of understanding the political playground that Hindus find themselves within? And to be very savvy about it and to be almost like giving executive summaries to the Jagadgurus about what's happening. Right? That would be very important. And I feel that's a huge gap that is being filled by acharyas who are not qualified. So that's my personal take.
Thank you, Prashant. That was an interesting take. I think the current scenario is too chaotic, as you say, and too many things happening at too many levels. And the greatest issue is to be or not to be. I find that the shishyas, the society itself, if a sannyasi does something, he is criticized. If he does not do something, he is then also criticized. I find it a little bit funny sometimes. One sannyasi becomes a chief minister, he is criticized for abandoning sannyasa. another sannyasi does not indulge in politics and keeps aloof. He's criticized for being aloof.
Just take
So,
a mix of it after,
so
and then what?
Hindu civilization is in a very
Vaita
strange
Tapasya and say
phase,
goodbye.
and I think part of the
But
problem
you
is
have got so
beyond the
many
scope of this
questions,
discussion. But
then
I
you
would
have
just
to
make a
follow.
point that somehow people don't want to take responsibilities, and they want to put those responsibilities in the hands of acharyas.
Tesha
I mean, they say acharya is
Anyonya
not doing this acharya
Virodhitva.
is not doing that. But the question
They
is,
are
what is you
mutually
doing? I mean,
opposed to
that is the kind of
one another.
cognitive dissonance that is prevalent in the
Bhatadarthatvena.
whole Hindu
Because
society,
they
and
are saying
that needs to
that
be addressed
Bhatadartha
as
means
well.
mithya.
So,
But
Being
yeah,
mithya in
yeah.
nature.
yeah, that's a very important point that you raise. And
Sarupapatti
the reason I
eva
feel it shouldn't come from the acharyas, but it should come
Tesha
from their associated pithams. And here is
Vadana
why. Let's say you
Upapatti
take up a
eva
political cause.
Upapattis
Nitinji takes it up, or
are
Prashant Parekh takes it up, or somebody that we know
reasonings,
takes it up.
arguments
It won't have the same legitimacy that we carry
of
as it
those
would if it were coming
Vadas only,
authorized from a
doctrines
Pitham.
only.
So my suggestion isn't that the sannyasi
Nirakaranaya
Mahatmas who are adorning
to refute all
the
these
Shankaracharya mutts,
notions.
that they should be politically savvy.
Chaturtham
What I
prakarana.
mean to say is that those
Fourth
ashrams
chapter
should somehow
called
provide the right
Vada
funding, the right infrastructure, the right grounding
the help
for
of
other,
this fourth
you can call them
chapter.
vidwans maybe. You can have like grihastha
This
vidwans
text
also, who are not
is
sannyasis,
going
who are
to
engaged in
prove
this to understand what
that
is happening to Sanatana.
cause
Now we
of
all know the example of Swami
samsara
Vidyaranya
is
of how he
Vaita
managed
Prapancha,
his affairs
born
even
of
prior to sannyasa.
Avidya,
And then of
and
course
it
the
is described
establishment
by
of the
God.
Vijayanagara Empire was a great
Vidya,
victory
where
that
Advaya
protected
Brahma is
parts of southern
directly
India from the Mughal onslaught. And that's why a lot of culture and tradition has not been
the
completely
question
destroyed because
is,
of the Vijayanagara Empire to a great degree. So that
sir,
way,
you have
like
told us
if there can be institutions
that
associated with these pitams, where there is
Tatra,
information flowing
the first
without
line here,
actually having the acharya to
Tavad
commit a large amount of
Omkara
time to these
Niranaya.
activities, that would go a long way, because the
All
way I
these
see
four
it,
chapters are
when I perceive
forward.
the word Jagat Guru,
A
I take
statement
it somewhat literally that you are the guru of the
Omkara
entire Jagat,
and the
and somehow you have to
Upaya
spread your reach
means for
outside of
what?
those very narrow circles.
Tattva?
So it's not the fault of the Jagat Guru so
What
much
is
as
it
it is
then?
the fault of the followers who are not able to
How do you
volunteer.
say?
As you said, that we have to take the onus, but
By
there should be people
ascertaining
associated with the Petam who are ready to take on such
Omkara.
responsibilities in association with the Petam without actually disturbing the Gurus. So that would be a
Definitely,
very
definitely. Yes. I think I was reading, recently I had a debate with somebody and who was claiming that, Shankaracharyas and such Jagat Gurus, Peethadhikaris should not speak about social issues or issues on dharma and issues on socio-political issues and such thing. And they, being a sannyasi, they should be completely aloof. But I noticed in the what is this the text that Shankaracharya ji, the Adi Shankaracharya ji has given, the Matamnaya text for governing the four matas and how the Peetam has to be run. There, one of the duties for a presiding Shankaracharya is to do the dharma prachara, is to ensure that the Varnashrama dharma, for example, is established. So the Shankaracharya was clear that the Peethadipati is not simply a teacher of Advaita or not simply a sannyasi, but is a sannyasi who has a duty for the establishment of dharma. So what you say makes a lot of sense, and I'm sure things are changing in the matas. We have a good example of Puri Shankaracharya commenting on various issues. We may agree or disagree with him. There are a lot of issues we may not disagree, but it is important that a traditional point of view on issues are put out, and that is what I think you are also saying.
yes.
So we are almost coming to a conclusion of the session. We have a few more minutes, so I want to take up 2-3 questions very quickly.
Okay.
So, one thing is, in Advaita tradition, we have this different prakriyas. Like we have this Srishti Drishti Prakriya, the Drishti Srishti Vada, the Ajati Vada. All of them are, their function is to teach the highest reality. But however, it kind of leads a lot of beginner students to lot of confusion. In a sense, most of the people I have seen, they cannot connect to Drishti Srishti Vada or Ajati Vada especially. and they are more rooted to Srishti Srishtivada. And if they come across anything that is outside of it, somehow it kind of gets confusing. So, how do you see this? How do you understand this prakriyas, their mutual relationship, and any suggestions to the beginners from your own experience, how to reconcile them?
Yes. So one thing I realized very, very early on, in fact, that's what led me to Vedanta, is that when we speak about the world, we are only talking in models. We have different models and ways in which we are perceiving the world. So when it comes to Advaita, there's only one reality, it's Paramathikam. And when you talk about Brahman, there's nothing to speak about. It's like, even to say that Brahman is, requires Vyavaharika for that. But all that there is Brahman is a fact, and there are no models that can actually surmise this accurately. Every model is incomplete on its own. But there are different models which are stepping stones which lead to closer and closer towards that ultimate truths. It's almost like, it's a circle, and every point on the circle is a model that's pointing towards the center. But you never quite touch the center because nothing can touch Brahman. And that's why the Upanishads say that words do not go there, the mind does not go there. Everything falls short of Brahman. So if a person can understand that, whether you talk about Shrishti Drishti Vada or Drishti Shrishti Vada or Eka Jati Vada and this and that, Eka Jiva Vada rather, all of them are only indicating that, okay, there is this truth that's Brahman, and there are different gradients at which you can look at it. Some are closer to that truth, some are further away from that truth. And this is illustrated very beautifully by my Guru, Swami Divyachaitanya. So when I first, earlier on, I attended his pravachan, he made a statement which made me think for 2 minutes about like how to understand it. He said that for the Uttama Adhikari, there is only Paramathikam. For the Madhyam Adhikari, there is Paramathikam and Pratibhashikam. Okay. And for the Manda Adhikari, there's Paramathikam, Vyavaharikam and Pratibhashikam. So for a second, I thought, wait, did he switch the order between 2 and 3? Yeah. That thought came in my mind, but I said, no, of course not. He's a great Mahatma. He wouldn't switch the order. I don't understand it. Then I understood, okay, the Uttamadhikari sees there's nothing other than Brahman. The Madhyamadhikari sees that there is Brahman, but there's also superimposition taking place. And for the Manda Adhikari, there is also this Vyavahara that you have to deal with, the Satta, Vyavaharik Satta. So therefore, depending on what level you are at, and also depending on how acute your understanding of the Shastras, each of these models can take you to a level further. So they're just different models, that's all. There's no contradiction.
That is very beautifully put. I think the illustration by Swami Divyachaitanya ji is wonderful. It completely captures it. So another quick question is, you have studied under different teachers, you have seen different teachers. So this is what are some of the common mistakes that seekers do while approaching a guru? What have you learned perhaps from your own mistakes that you committed?
Oh boy, I've learned so much from my mistakes because I've committed so many mistakes. But I can say a few of them. See, first is that we all, at least myself and many people I know, we come up with our own preconceived notions about the process of how knowledge should be unfolded. We go with our own conclusions about this is what it should be. And when the Acharya does something differently, we get flustered as a consequence. So that is a big problem. We should let the process do its work. We should be silent witnesses to the process of the Acharya unfolding the pramana such that the knowledge can take place without creating too many obstructions of our own. So definitely one should not suspend the intellect. The intellect has to be ready and present at all times. But that opposition, that okay, wait, that lack of Shraddha, or wondering at what point will the Acharya get to the main point, or okay, I've already heard this before, what about it? Those kinds of things should not be in the way, because I learned the hard way, the difficult way after committing these errors, that only when you expose yourself completely to the Shastra Pramana can knowledge take place. And slowly you will find that this avidya gets chipped away. So I'll give you one example from a movie, and this will hit home for a lot of our viewers also. There's this 1984 film called Karate Kid. So over there, this Daniel DeRusso, who's the main character, he studies under this old karate master, Mr. Miyagi. And so he's being bullied by his friends in school. So he says, okay, teach me karate. But rather than teaching karate, he makes him do his household chores. So first he says, okay, wax the car, okay, paint the fence. Then he says sand the floor, like, sanding the floor and smoothing it and scrubbing it out and all. And that way he'll make him do different tasks. So after 4 or 5 days, this guy gets very fed up with it. I mean, he says, look, I came here to learn karate, but you are actually using me just to get your household work done. And so then Mr. Miyagi calls that guy, come here, Daniel. So he's like, yes, tell me. He's like, show me wax the floor. So he's like, what? He's like, show me wax the floor. Say, okay. And then he punches him and that's a block. Then he says, show me paint the fence. So he hits him from the top and that's a block. And that's a down block. And that's a side block. And that's a left block. And so all of these techniques basically became part of his muscle memory, which made him a better fighter. So sometimes when the guru is making you do certain things or giving you certain upadeshas, it doesn't have to make sense in the moment, but eventually it is going to be for your own good, provided you found a sampradaya with guru. It cannot be any Tom, Dick and Harry. It has to be a legitimate acharya. That's for sure. And then you will find that when you suspend your judgment, but you continue to use your intellect, you will benefit from that process. And that's my primary advice based on my own mistake, that please suspend your judgment when you're studying under a legitimate teacher. But make the choice should be in making sure that you have a good teacher. That's where you have to utilize your choice.
I think all the judgment and testing should happen before accepting somebody as a teacher and not after accepting. I think that is an important reminder for all the seekers.
Same thing in marriage also. Do all the testing and all before, not after, right? Like, don't doubt your spouse after. You do make all your clarifications take place before that. Like in any relationship, the Shraddha has to be the basis of a relationship, but you have to use your judgment prior to that. So that's very true.
By the way, that Karate Kid is one of my favorite movies as well. I have watched it a number of times. So my last question I want to ask, since we're almost out of time, so we won't be taking viewers' question today. I believe you're currently working on a few book projects, and these are something related to Hindu civilization, Sanatana Dharma. So can you just briefly shed light on the kind of themes that you are working on?
So I have 2 projects. Again, I started on one, but I'm putting that a bit on suspension. The first one is going to be looking at the metaphysics of Dharma as the foundation of reality, and it's going to be touching upon a lot of things, like, you're going from chaos to complexity to entropy to statistical dynamics to mithya models to understanding the world categorically, free will. That's going to touch upon a lot of things in a very coherent flow. But I don't feel at the moment I'm completely abreast with all of the things that I need to know before I can put it into motion. So I'm actually again like taking a break and getting into this learning phase before I can make contributions to that book. The other book that I'm very soon about to start is going to be Dharma and the social interpretations that you can come up with based on Dharma. It's going to use a lot of data-driven analysis. It's going to use our Shastric principles to basically solve some of the conundrums that we have. What are the economic conundrums? What are the social conundrums? What are the philosophical, ideological conundrums that we have that we are trying to sort out? Whether it could be topics of homosexuality, it could be topics of, whether capitalism is a better system suited compared to socialism, all of these things. And, we're just trying to make it very like data driven, very dharmic, and it has to ultimately have some of its basis in what our Shastras say. So again, these are 2 very ambitious projects. It may take maybe half a decade or more to even put through. But that's where the direction is going. And if nothing else, it would just be a personal sadhana for me, where I can learn something more. So the second book, I would be working with one of my co-hosts of Samvada, Viduleka, on the second book on Society and Dharma.
Wonderful, Prashantji. It was I say all the best for all your endeavors, all your book projects and Samvada and everything. And this was a very interesting, very enlightening conversation. And I hope we can see you more on our Advaita Academy's programs in future as well. So, and on the behalf of entire Advaita Academy and all our viewers, I want to again thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
Thank you very much, Nitinji. It's been a pleasure knowing you for the better part of the decade. And I also want to close off by saying that what Nitin ji is doing is fantastic work. He's, doing a great seva to Sanatan Dharma as a whole by putting his efforts into so many directions. He's writing books. He's the curator of Advaita Academy. He's worked earlier with Indic Facts. He's basically dedicated his life to the cause of Sanatana Dharma and for the sake of our Hindu brothers and sisters. So that's a huge deal. And so please keep it up, and thank you for all the good things that you're doing as well.
Thank you, Prashantji, for that long praise. So, with this, viewers, we come to a conclusion of yet another session of Weekend Conversations. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, and we have a Facebook group as well for discussion. Join there as well, and we will keep you posting on more programs that we bring every weekend. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.